Seneca, the ancient Roman philosopher, once declared, "The only way to deal with fear is to face it head on." An audacious statement, isn't it? But how often do we truly live by these words? How often do we confront our fears instead of letting them control us? Take, for instance, the fear of public speaking. It's a common fear, one that many of us share. Imagine the renowned author J.K. Rowling. She once confessed to having this fear, yet she faced it head-on, delivering not only countless book readings but also the Harvard commencement speech in 2008. She didn't let her fear silence her voice. She faced it, and in doing so, she overcame it. Consider also the fear of failure. This fear can paralyze us, stop us in our tracks from pursuing our dreams. Now ponder on the life of Thomas Edison. He experienced thousands of failures before successfully inventing the light bulb. If he had let his fear of failure overcome him, we might still be in the dark. Reflect on the fear of rejection. This fear can isolate us, make us shy away from forming meaningful relationships. Yet, think about the famous actor, Brad Pitt. He faced countless rejections in his early career, but did he let this fear deter him? No. He faced it head-on, and now he's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. And then, there's the fear of the unknown. This fear can stop us from exploring new places, trying new things, and growing as individuals. Reflect on the journey of astronaut Neil Armstrong. He literally stepped into the unknown when he set foot on the moon. His bravery in the face of fear led to one of humanity's greatest achievements. Facing your fears is not about being fearless. It's about acknowledging your fears and deciding to move forward despite them. It's about the little girl who decides to ride her bike without training wheels for the first time, facing her fear of falling. It's about the young man who decides to ask his crush out on a date despite his fear of rejection. It's about the woman who decides to leave her comfortable corporate job to start her own business, despite her fear of failure. Each of these individuals, from famous figures to everyday people, chose to face their fears head-on. In doing so, they discovered that fear, while powerful, does not have to be paralyzing. On the contrary, it can be a powerful motivator, a catalyst for change, a stepping stone to greatness. So, what fears are you holding on to? How might your life change if you decide to face them head-on? Remember, as Seneca said, the only way to deal with fear is to face it head-on. It's a bold statement, but as we've seen, it's a statement that holds truth. So dare to face your fears. Who knows, you might just become the next J.K. Rowling, Thomas Edison, Brad Pitt, or Neil Armstrong. Or better yet, the best version of yourself. Change is inevitable, yet it's something many of us fear. It's the fear that can keep us stuck in unhealthy situations, in unfulfilling jobs, or in relationships that no longer serve us. But what if we told you that change, while scary, can also be incredibly rewarding? Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was not afraid of change. In fact, he embraced it. And that led to the creation of Apple, one of the most successful companies in the world. Or consider the countless individuals who have moved to new cities, started new careers, or embarked on new relationships, only to find that these changes brought about unexpected opportunities and happiness. So, don't fear change. Embrace it. You might just find that the very thing you were afraid of is the very thing that leads to your greatest success. It's paradoxical, isn't it? Success is something we all strive for, yet some of us fear it. We fear the pressure that comes with it, the expectations, and the potential to fail. But this fear can keep us from reaching our full potential. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. She faced her fear of success and became one of the most influential media moguls in the world. She once said, "The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate." So, success isn't something to fear, but something to strive for. Don't fear success. Chase it. You might just find that your fear of success was the only thing standing in your way. Loneliness is a fear that can consume us. It can make us stay in toxic relationships, stop us from pursuing our dreams, and even lead us to self-destruction. But it doesn't have to be that way. Take Mother Teresa, for example. She faced loneliness in her life, yet she used it as a catalyst to help and serve others. She once said, "The most terrible poverty is loneliness and the feeling of being unloved." But instead of succumbing to her fear, she turned it into a strength. Loneliness can be a catalyst for self-discovery and growth, It can help you understand yourself better and push you to become a better person. So don't fear loneliness. Use it. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you too can rise from your fear of loneliness and become a beacon of hope for others. As we continue our journey, we're faced with a fear that is as natural as life itself, the fear of aging. It's a fear that can keep us from enjoying the present, always worried about the future. But we need to remember that aging is not a curse, but a blessing. Take Betty White, for example. She embraced aging and it led to a long, successful career. She once said, "I'm the luckiest old broad on 2 feet because the public still likes what I do." Aging is not something to fear, but to celebrate. It's a testament to our journey, our experiences, and our growth. So, don't fear aging, celebrate it. Because every wrinkle, every gray hair, and every year added to your life is a trophy of your resilience, your strength, and your wisdom. Moving forward, we come face to face with the ultimate unknown, the fear of death. This fear can be so strong that it keeps us from truly living our lives. But let's take a moment to reflect on the wisdom of the Dalai Lama, who once said, "Death is a part of all our lives. Whether we like it or not, it is bound to happen." He faced his fear of death and it led to a life of peace and fulfillment. We need to understand that death, just like birth, is a natural part of life. It's not something to fear, but to accept as a part of our existence. So don't let the fear of death stop you from living. Instead, live your life to the fullest. Cherish every moment and make every second count. Remember, it's not about how long you live, but how well you live. Facing your fears is not about being fearless. It's about acknowledging your fears and deciding to move forward despite them. Throughout this video, we've tackled various fears: public speaking, failure, rejection, the unknown, change, success, loneliness, aging, and even death. We've learned that these fears, while daunting, can actually be powerful motivators and catalysts for change. Remember when we talked about public speaking? It's not about never feeling nervous, but about using that nervous energy to enhance your delivery. Or how about the fear of failure? It's not about never failing, but about learning and growing from each failure. The same goes for all the other fears we've discussed. Each fear faced is a step towards personal growth and success. Each fear confronted is an opportunity to become a stronger, braver, and more resilient version of yourself. So dare to face your fears. Who knows, you might just become the next Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Mother Teresa, Betty White, or Dalai Lama. Or better yet, the best version of yourself. In conclusion, let your fears not paralyze you, but propel you forward. After all, it's through facing our fears that we truly start living. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey of facing your fears today.